Three-day Police Week begins. Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus inaugurates the event, reiterates elections to be held between December and June 2026. Chief Advisor directs the police to regain people's trust by minimizing distance created between police and people during the last 16 years. Visiting Azerbaijani Deputy Foreign Minister calls on Chief Advisor. Decisions taken to boost trade and commerce and increase student scholarship program between the two countries. This year's first Hajj flight with 398 pilgrims arrives in Saudi Arabia. Hajj flights to continue till May the 31st. Election Commission wants to grant voting rights to expatriates even if on a limited scale, says CEC. Along with Journalism Protection Act, enacting a Journalism Ethics Act also needed to ensure that journalists behave responsibly, says Information and Broadcasting Advisor. Referring to Israeli attack in Gaza, Amnesty Secretary General says behavior of Israel and its allies suggests that they consider themselves above international law. And Bangladesh leading by 64 runs against Zimbabwe at stumps of second day in Chattogram Test. Tigers scored 291 for 7 with opener Shadman Islam's century. Assalamu alaikum. This is Shamim Khan, welcoming you all to News at 10. Those were the headlines. We now move on to the news in details. Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus asked police to revive people's trust in the force, saying the law enforcing agency must have to play a significant role in holding a free and fair election. The Chief Advisor made the call while speaking at the inaugural session of Police Week 2025 at Rajarbagh Police Auditorium today. Professor Yunus said from the grassroots level, police must work to achieve confidence of commoners and the government would provide all necessary support to this end. Referring to his several speeches that the next general election would be held between December this year and June 2026, he said the role of police is very important in holding the polls in a fair and peaceful manner. The Chief Advisor said it is the responsibility of all to create an environment where people can vote freely. Distance between people and police was created, and that is why the government took all necessary steps to improve the situation, he said. Chief Advisor also urged the police to play a strong role in preventing violence against women, ensuring that women from all classes and professions get support from police by calling the police hotline. The Chief Advisor said as police force was used as partisan force during the deposed autocratic regime, all systems of the country were destroyed.
শাসনামলের 15 বছরে দেশের পুলিশ বাহিনীকে দলীয় বাহিনীতে পরিণত করায় সমস্ত ব্যবস্থা ধ্বংস হয়ে গেছে। স্বৈরাচারের অবৈধ অন্যায় আদেশ পালন করতে গিয়ে পুলিশ বাহিনী ব্যাপকভাবে জনরোষের মুখে পড়ে। অনেক সৎ পুলিশ সদস্যদেরও এই জন্য মাশুল দিতে হয়েছে। আমাদের সবচেয়ে বড় চ্যালেঞ্জ হলো বিগত 16 বছরে পুলিশ জনগণের মধ্যে যে দূরত্ব সৃষ্টি হয়েছে সেই দূরত্ব কমিয়ে আনা, পুলিশ বাহিনীর প্রতি মানুষের আস্থা ফিরিয়ে আনা। আমি বলবো এটা কঠিন না, একবার সে আন্তরিক পরিবেশ সৃষ্টি হলে এই বন্ধন অটুট থাকবে। মাঠ পর্যায় থেকে শুরু করে সকল স্তরে আইন শৃঙ্খলা বাহিনীকে জনগণের বিশ্বাস অর্জনের জন্য কাজ করতে হবে। এই কাজটা আপনাদেরকেই করতে হবে, আর সরকারের দিক থেকে যা যা প্রয়োজন তা বাস্তবায়ন করা আমাদের দায়িত্ব। আমরা সে দায়িত্ব গ্রহণ করছি। পুলিশের সংস্কারের লক্ষ্যে অন্তর্বর্তীকালীন সরকার উদ্যোগ নিয়েছে। তৃণমূল পর্যায়ে কর্মরত পুলিশ সদস্যদের কল্যাণে কয়েকটি বিষয়ে দ্রুত ব্যবস্থা নেওয়া হয়েছে। আপনারা জানেন ইতিমধ্যে জাতির উদ্দেশ্যে দিয়ে একাধিক ভাষণে আমি বলেছি চলতি বছরের ডিসেম্বর থেকে আগামী বছরের জুনের মধ্যে দেশে ত্রয়োদশ সংসদ নির্বাচন অনুষ্ঠিত হবে। সেই নির্বাচন যেন সুষ্ঠু ও শান্তিপূর্ণ উপায়ে অনুষ্ঠিত হয় সেজন্য পুলিশ সদস্যদের ভূমিকা খুবই গুরুত্বপূর্ণ। নির্বাচনে সকল প্রতিদ্বন্দ্বী প্রার্থীর প্রতি সমান আচরণ ও ভোটাররা যাতে নির্ভয়ে নির্বিঘ্নে নিজেদের ভোটাধিকার প্রয়োগ করতে পারে সেই পরিবেশ নিশ্চিত করা আপনাদের এবং আমাদের সর্বোচ্চ দায়িত্ব। বিশ্বের বুকে একটি শান্তিপূর্ণ সমৃদ্ধ দেশ হিসেবে বাংলাদেশ মাথা তুলে দাঁড়াচ্ছে এবং মাথা উঁচু করে রাখবে সবসময়। এই স্বপ্ন পূরণে আপনাদের ভূমিকা অনেক।
Home Advisor Lieutenant General Retired Mohammad Jahangir Alam Chaudhry and IGP Baharul Alam spoke at the event. Constable Samia Islam Shorna and Assistant Superintendent of Police Al Assad spoke on behalf of police members. Special Assistant to the Chief Advisor Muhammad Khuda Baksh Chaudhry and Senior Secretary of the Home Ministry Naseemul Ghani were present. Later, Chief Advisor handed over Bangladesh Police Medal and President's Medal among the winners. Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus agreed to increase connectivity with Azerbaijan to boost trade and commerce and increase exchange of scholarship programs for students. The Chief Advisor laid emphasis on opening an embassy of Azerbaijan in Dhaka and launching a direct flight between Dhaka and Baku when Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs of Azerbaijan, Elnur Mammadov, met him at the State Guest House, Jamuna, this afternoon. Professor Yunus said opening an embassy in Dhaka would also end the visa hassle. The meeting focused on strengthening bilateral ties between Bangladesh and Azerbaijan, particularly in the areas of trade, investment, energy, education, technology, infrastructure, and cultural exchanges. The Chief Advisor urged the Azerbaijan investors to invest in Bangladesh and take advantage of Bangladesh's huge human resources. The Azerbaijani Deputy Minister said his country wants to develop strategic relations with Bangladesh ahead of 35th anniversary of diplomatic relations between Bangladesh and Azerbaijan in 2 years' time. Deputy Foreign Minister Mammadov also gave the Chief Advisor an overview of the Asan-endorsed models of Azerbaijan to curb corruption and increase efficiency, transparency and effectiveness in public service delivery. The Chief Advisor appreciated the Asan-endorsed service concepts and expressed hope to explore possibility of replicating the platforms in Bangladesh. The Deputy Foreign Minister handed over an invitation from the President of Azerbaijan to the Chief Advisor for participation in the 17th Summit of Economic Cooperation Organization to be held in Azerbaijan in July 2025. The first Hajj flight of this year, carrying 398 Bangladeshi pilgrims, has arrived in Saudi Arabia. At 2:20 a.m. last night, the inaugural Hajj flight departed from Hazrat Shah Jalal International Airport in Dhaka for Jeddah. This year's Hajj flight operations began with Saudi Arabia's national carrier, Saudia. On the first day, a total of 10 flights are scheduled to transport 4,180 pilgrims to Saudi Arabia. Among these, 8 flights will land at King Abdulaziz International Airport in Jeddah, and 2 flights will arrive at Prince Mohammed bin Abdulaziz International Airport in Medina. This year, 87,100 Bangladeshi pilgrims are expected to perform Hajj in the holy city of Makkah. The Hajj flights will continue until May the 31st. Depending on sighting of moon, the Hajj is likely to take place on June the 5th. Chief Election Commissioner AMM Nasiruddin said Election Commission wants to allow voting rights to the expatriates even if on a limited scale. He also urged the political parties to share their opinions in this regard by 15th of May. Nasiruddin made the call today while speaking at a seminar on voting system development for expatriate Bangladeshis at the election building in the capital's Agargaon. Representatives from 21 political parties, including BNP, Jamaat and NCP, participated in the seminar. Chief Election Commissioner said that voting method for expatriates must be determined by considering the socio-economic and political realities as well as education qualification of the voters. Ensuring transparency in the expatriate voting process, system design, technical feasibility, appropriate security measures and implementation were also discussed in the seminar. Information and Broadcasting Advisor Muhammad Mahfouz Alam stated that alongside enacting a journalism protection law, it is also necessary to enact a journalism ethics law to ensure that journalists behave responsibly. He said this at a view exchange meeting titled Reality of Media in 15 Years of Fascism at the Secretariat today. Moderated by Director General of PIB Farooq Wasif, the meeting was attended by Head of Media Reform Commission Kamal Ahmed, Professor Dr. Geetiyara Nasreen from Dhaka University, Managing Director of Journalist Welfare Trust Muhammad Abdullah, Managing Director BSS Mahbub Murshid, along with advisors, executive editors and senior journalists from various television channels and daily newspapers. The information advisor mentioned that many journalists acted as agents of fascists not just out of fear but also in the hope of gaining something. The interim government will carry out reforms as much as possible in consultation with stakeholders, Information and Broadcasting Advisor added. National Consensus Commission Vice President Professor Ali Riaz said everyone must work unitedly to institutionalize the goals and objectives of the democratic struggle. He made the remarks this morning during a discussion between National Consensus Commission and Bangladesh Biplobi Workers' Party at the Parliament building. A 10-member delegation of the party led by General Secretary Saiful Haq took part in the discussion. Dr. Ali Riaz said that through the unity of political and democratic forces along with general people, they can move forward in building a new Bangladesh. Commission members Dr. Iftikharussaman, Dr. Bodiullah Mujumdar, Safar Raj Hussain, Justice Muhammad Imdadul Haq and Chief Advisor Special Assistant Munir Haider were present at the time. Foreign Office consultation meeting to enhance relations between Azerbaijan and Bangladesh held in the capital today. Deputy Foreign Minister Elnur Mamadov led the Azerbaijani delegation at the meeting held at State Guest House Podda this morning. Foreign Secretary Muhammad Yoshimuddin led the Bangladesh delegation. Technology transfer, cooperation in ICT sector and exchange of knowledge between the two countries were discussed in the meeting.
টেবিলে খাবার রাখা আছে খায় নে মা আমি এই খাবার খাবো না কেন তাইলে গন্ধ গন্ধ হইব কেন
কি হইছে লক্ষ্মী মায়ের ধমকাইতেছো কেন
লক্ষ্মী না চাই প্রত্যেক বেলা খাবার নিয়ে ঝামেলা করে কথাটা ঠিক না আমি কইছি পচাবাসি খাবার আমি খাবো না ভাইজান কি করমু কও প্রত্যেক বেলা নতুন নতুন রান্নার সময় কই তাই এক বেলা রাঁধি দুই বেলা খাই
একবার রান্না করে দুই বেলা খাই